I'm not going to make that excuse. Some people make that.
Yeah.
I chose to do that. So you got to live with that and move forward. If you're paying this executive 150K, 200K, 250, whatever, 300K plus, they're giving these people, you got to go out there in the field and you got to give me something.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're going to sit behind a desk and tell me this, and you're not out there doing nothing.
And luckily, I believe the internet is slowly but surely saving the world, because it actually gives voices to people.
It does.
And they're trying to censor all, these different people. It's going to happen for still a certain amount of time, but I cannot wait till the day where everything gets just burned down and started from scratch, and actually where they care about what they're making and not just care about making the money.
If you follow the rules, you'll never get ahead. That's just period.
Please remain seated.
All right, Paris Jones is back at the table.
Back.
We got 30 minutes on the clock.
Let's get it.
You just drove all the way from Detroit on your own, by yourself.
By myself, right before I had chemo.
Right, you had chemo right before.
Right before.
And just
it's
went.
right here, still on me. This is just that reminder. Keep that piece on.
I love that. I love that. Here's the thing is that we got 30 minutes and I want to extract as much value from your mindset, your way of business, your mentality across the board in your personal and professional life.
Yeah.
The entertainment industry is going through a writer's strike and a Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA strike as well. And, it's definitely what I think is a pivotal moment that things need to get recalibrated. But what I don't want to happen is for people to wait until it's over to then they're ready to then move forward.
Right.
I think this is a huge moment in time that people could take advantage.
Right.
So I want to talk about so many things, but we got 28 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock. Let's get it in. So welcome back, man. How you feeling?
Man, I feel good. Thank you for having me back on this amazing platform, the Rodriguez Project.
Here at Mastermynd Media.
Here at Mastermynd Media, yes.
And Jai behind the scenes.
Jai Ma in the building.
Hey, you guys.
Listen, to see this
Good to have
thing
you
grow.
back,
Look like this, boom.
Thank you for having me back. But to see this grow, it's amazing. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, a lot of great conversations at this table.
A ton. And this is a strong conversation right now, especially what you just mentioned with this industry and what's happening. Like you just mentioned with the strike and, this is something that I guess needed to happen.
Sure.
It's silly that it needed to, but hopefully this gets independence to get out there more.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just worrying about the studios.
Yeah.
And not going out there and just making things happen.
Absolutely. And now that there's so many different avenues, and listen, we've been at it taking advantage of the streaming wars for a minute, right?
Yes.
The game was the game before. It then changed as the streaming wars were happening, which they still are. Everybody's fighting for attention. So as we were creating our own projects and still are creating our own projects and, we both started as actors.
That's right.
And I still love, acting is still one of my favorite things to do.
Same. But creating.
But creating
is
and learning the business side and ensuring that, that your ducks are in a row, that you are bringing something to the table versus just coming and asking for an opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're one of the people, and I might have mentioned this the last time you were on, when you first came to LA, when I was out here, was it your first time in LA after? Or first time in LA ever? Sorry.
No, it was, I came when I was younger, but that didn't really count. It counted in, but me and your sister came out here.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And then you came back out, and I always said you did more in like 25 days than I've seen some people do in 25 years. So you already had that mentality. Now throw in the fact that diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer, and how that's changed your mentality or turned it up even more. So what do you think that people could, if they could understand how you go about things even before you were diagnosed to now,
now
how do you push forward?
It's as simple as you just don't know if tomorrow is going to be here. That's just number one. Like that, I think that should really trigger everybody. You just don't know if tomorrow is going to be here or not. And then I got a taste of it. When everything was going good, I'm feeling right, doing all the right things, which I Thought I was. Felt like I definitely was doing it.
Yeah.
And then it just changed.
Yeah, because you had a
matter of a sneeze.
Yeah, really. It literally came down to that. Because you were eating healthy, you were working out all the time. Because you did have an unhealthy era of like, you know, when you first had JJ, right? And like the just staying
just
busy.
young and having a kid and late night eating. Yeah, doing all that stuff. Gained a ton of weight, and then of course
was that something that's why you finally flipped that switch to your healthy era?
Yeah, I would say then.
Yeah,
then was that time. You know, it was just like because I was trying to really get back into the film side, so doing the acting and stuff like that.
So you gotta get
because I was doing
screen
more
ready.
Of it. Yeah, had to get screen ready. But yeah, just went full throttle in that, and then health became a big thing.
Yeah.
So I just said, okay, this is how I'm going to move forward with it.
Yeah, and I used to make fun of you, still do, when you're ordering at the, wherever you are.
Well, everybody does.
Yeah, super specific about what kind of oils are you guys using? What are you cooking with? Can I have this? No sauce, no dressing, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason I bring up the health era, number one, to see when you flip that switch, but my whole journey of eating like shit my whole life because I had a fast metabolism, and on the outside I looked okay, but inside after you do that for 35 years, you're like,
it's gonna catch up.
Yeah, and it did, and that's when I had to flip the switch. So now, I'm not even eating anything other than what I'm cooking at the house because I need
amazing. By the way, listen, this guy, man, he just chefs up some amazing, clean, quality food to really get your day going strong. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it, man. Well, I was Jai, who was producing the pod. She would always cook, and she's amazing cook. I won't even call you a cook. I'll say you're a chef.
Wow. Stop. I'm going to get an apron now.
No, but yeah.
But I never thought I could fit it in my life. And then I realized after I had to, because my health was suffering so much, my psoriasis is out of control.
Right.
I really started prioritizing my sleep. Then I started cooking. And now I realized, wait, this is way easier than I thought. Yeah. I'm saving so much money by, now I just added like a routine every 3 days trip to the grocery store. But it's quicker than ordering Uber Eats. I'm like, it's just a whole thing.
Which before you didn't even, the argument was, oh, I need something right now. Uber Eats is going to be quick, which takes the literal same amount of time, if
maybe
less.
even less time. Yeah, I think even less. But it was my mentality of I could just go order the same thing at Chipotle, go back to work, and then
and for some people, it does. That is the way. Some people just don't want to be in the kitchen. They don't want to do that. And ordering something is faster for them, But when you have that mindset of like, you know what? I know what I'm putting in my food.
I need to know everything.
I know
but also,
the sneaky oils.
You could also argue that you can order healthy food. You just have to be very intentional about what you're ordering. But, it's always more expensive that way.
It is.
Too.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. Why if I want gluten-free something, I got to pay $3 extra?
Because
it's crazy. You want to be healthy?
But and that's the mindset. What I tell people, if you have to eat healthy, it's more expensive and trash. It's in your face. When you can get an 8-piece for $1.99. But that should say something. But it's like the fact of like,
it's convenience.
It's convenience. It's quick. And it tastes so good.
Good.
But if you just sit back and just think about like, wow, this is $1.99. I wonder why. That should spark your mindset to be like, I shouldn't be eating this.
The whole system needs to be overthrown and start. Literally every single person that's been poisoning us from the start, literally them and their whole families from the past that have been working in this business should be put away and never be able to do this again. It's the fact that there's so many foods on the shelves in American grocery stores that are illegal in Europe.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not being taken down from the get shows you how corrupt this whole thing is. The fact that they get you on this side, so then you're unhealthy, and they get you on that flip side, so they can make money based on what the different prescriptions you're taking. It's absolutely ridiculous. And luckily, I believe the internet is slowly but surely saving the world because it actually gives voices to people.
It does.
And they're trying to censor all, these different people. It's going to happen for still a certain amount of time, but I cannot wait till the day where everything gets just burned down and started from scratch, and actually where they care about what they're making and not just care about making the money.
No, for sure. And that leads us into
fucking bullshit.
It is. It's trash.
Let's just move to Europe. Let's just move right now.
That leads us into with this film stuff. Same kind of stuff. Like,
take me there.
He said,
"What's on your mind?"
No, I mean, with everything that's going on, what they put out there, and think that people want to see, and some of these stories which are just redone and over, forcing you to like certain things. It's with the music too.
Yeah.
It started with, the music industry, same thing, but with this film, the film stuff, and then like I said, what we just talked about, what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Which hopefully this is a good thing for the independents to say, you know what? They feel like they're not getting what they deserve.
Yeah.
They're just due. So hopefully now people will come together. You still have some people that are just like, no, the union. And there's some people that are getting a ton of work and they made tons of money. So they're just going to be union and oh my gosh or whatever. But then there's people that don't hardly even work like that and still out there and still trying to pitch and them telling you no and this. It's to the point where we've both been through it. We are pitching stuff that we know is undeniable and hot. And you got some weasel executive saying, oh no, this doesn't work, or trying to give you a note. And then I'm just like, how you gonna, when it comes down to it, I'm getting
weasel executive.
No, I'm being
You're
honest.
the creative. He's
Like,
there for business.
Right. Mm-hmm. And he's getting hired as the creative executive though. It's on his title or her title. Mm-hmm. And they coming back telling me, oh, this isn't hot or this is not good, and trying to give me a note. And it's like, what have you produced? And that's lame.
Yeah.
That's
show me what you've done.
down.
And it's not show me the classes and the courses you took at college. Let me see your taste buds.
Or the statistics, really.
Facts.
It's not about the
Yes.
number. I mean, in reality, they're valuing the numbers over the creative.
Yeah, and don't want to try something new because this is what the statistics say for the
Yeah,
person.
because it makes them money. It's guaranteed money.
Exactly.
But it's not.
No, it's not. Right. But from music, I'm going back to I'll go to the music because just like what Master P did and Cash Money did and Jay-Z, but Master P, his music, they, felt that it wasn't great, because the sound or whatever. Mm-hmm. He literally was selling stuff out of his trunk, put out the music, let the people, if they're all denying you, he puts out the music, they're buying it and stuff like that. Then they come after him and say, hey, listen, we want to work. So now he can control what's happening now. All right, I'm getting 85%. I need a distributor to put it on the platform. Yep. So you guys just get the 15. And with the films, I think it's already been happening. It's happening right now. A ton of independent filmmakers. I think, from what we're doing, we're late to the party as far as that. But now it's just tough because with these, like I said, these executives are crushing people's dreams on what they're doing. People that have been pitching for years, nothing has come about it, and they just don't know the independent route, and then they're done. But if they don't, but then you have the people that are just straight up hustlers, animals that are like, okay, you guys are saying no to this, and this is a real story. This is what I went through and experienced. I'm gonna go out there and just do it. Of course, it may not, I can't have the big locations in the studio stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go do it, and then I'm gonna put it out, and then sometimes people fail at doing it, but at least, they try. But then you have the people that those stories fucking make, they go crazy. Yeah. Which is happening now. Mm-hmm. You have stuff that is really bad that's out there right now. But kind of like what we were talking about the other day. It's like the people that said, the person that got turned down by maybe a friend that they told it to, and they were like, no, that's garbage, or they pitched it and it didn't work out. But if they went out and they put it out, the sound is not great. The lighting is not good. The acting's terrible, but it made $1 million. They shot it for $25K.
Mm-hmm. Made $1 million on one of these independent streaming platforms. You still got to go through a distribution company. However, there's other options other than like the core 4 streaming platforms.
Right, and you can get mad. Listen, you can't it's a 50-50 thing. You know, some people you can get mad at, like, oh, this person did it. Like me, I went to film school. I did, went to classes, did all that stuff. So I'm gonna look at film a different kind of way. There's people that make film and they're just like, they don't care about that, and they put it out and it's doing some good stuff.
Yeah,
that's where it's just like, all right, you know, as the person, but can you blame them for because the person told them no, because no, this is not a good thing, but they kind of feel like they have a good story and then they put it out and then it just goes crazy. So how can this, and it goes back to this executive that truly, feels like, no, this won't do any good.
Yeah, well, and it comes down to what their certain criteria is, right? Because it all for these studios, for the most part, it comes down to mitigating risk. Is this a hot product? Okay, well, what makes it hot? Is it a low budget, high concept? Okay, cool, we got that. Who's attached? Oh, you don't have anybody attached? We're not interested. Oh, I do have somebody attached. Okay, well, let's look at the story. Oh, it doesn't get right into the story right away based on our calculations of how a script should go and how soon this should happen or whatever. Like, it's just, there's a certain box that you have to play in.
Yeah.
And
it's trash.
And they typically only hire the same people over and over again to direct it, or to, new writer. Okay, cool. But we might need to bring another writer on, and we're going to go with our ideas. Can you write our thing, even though you brought this project in?
Yeah, it's that system.
So I get it.
I get it too.
Like, it just comes down to, and I forget, what's the guy that created Star Wars?
George Lucas.
George Lucas. He said, and I don't know how recent this interview was, but he said when the studios first started, they hired people from the film, hired filmmakers from film school to come and be creative because they trusted those creatives, and they let them do their jobs at the beginning. And then eventually, at some point, they started putting the more the educated instead of the creative people in these positions to only mitigate the risk and run the numbers to give themselves the best opportunity to make money. Right. However, what that turns into is the same formula a billion times, and the same reason why you're seeing the sequel and the remake and the sequel and the remake.
They don't know what's hot. Yeah. That's why I can't have no weasel trash executive tell me anything. Yeah. And I'm out here shooting, creating content, and putting it out and selling it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, get rid of these executives. Get rid of these silly people that are, because that's where all this trash money is going. Mm-hmm. All that money that they're taking away from actors, they're giving to these executives and these DPs and stuff like that. Give it back to them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Yeah. Roberta actually just she's one of our clients. She just did a video about, like, AI. Keep the writers writing, keep the creatives creating, and like lower these executives' power of what to choose. Period. Because if you're going to use AI, this is her point of view, right? If you're going to use AI, use it to greenlight projects. Use it to
the executives' jobs versus
get those like I said,
decision makers.
If it's this executive, they should be out there producing the project. If you're going to give me these notes and you doing this, that's how you can
be on the
literally.
And that's how help. Yeah,
exactly.
Get those 10,000 hours.
Yeah, if you're paying this executive 150K, 200K, 250, whatever, 300K plus, they're giving these people. You got to go out there in the field and you got to give me something.
Yeah,
there's no way that you're gonna sit behind a desk and tell me this, and you're not out there doing nothing. Mm-hmm. You kidding me? That's trash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fire them. Get a real creative exec that can actually give somebody notes, find you content, and go out there and go out there and produce it. Yeah, that's a creative executive. That's a real creative exec, not this silly.
Just like a creative director. Yeah, right. Creative directors, they direct every single part of the creative process, but they're not the ones. They're not the ones just standing by, being like making decisions for no reason. They're putting the right people in place. They're trusting people to use their creatives for their project.
Right. All of these, they're so, and I'm telling you, they'll save billions. Mm-hmm. One place can save almost $1 billion based off of all of these executives they have in there. Creative exec, just like get out of here with that.
Yeah, because in my point of view from the whole thing, and I know they're saying like the CEO is making this much money or what have you, and like Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney and left and then came back, but I'm a big fan of him as an entrepreneur, and you know, I think he makes $59 million a year, something like that, $58 million or whatever. A lot of the money even comes from the different the other things that he does, and he saved Disney like 17 years ago when they were it was a troubling time. So I don't think it's as easy as like, oh, it's the CEO's making too much money or what have you. I think yes, everything could be looked at, but what happened in my point of view is streaming came out. It came from like DVDs and then like the different kind of like Netflix changing the game and then streaming happening and then the internet happening. So they didn't think they had to pay the actors the same rate of pay, but also residuals and all that kind of stuff because there were new streaming platforms or new platforms. Right. So the internet changed the world initially. And I remember you would get like, oh, a commercial audition for cable, and it would be like, oh yeah, it's this rate, but then you also can make 50, 100,000 depending on how many times it performs or gets renewed. But then if it's something on internet, it's like, oh, it's like a $500 buyout. And it was like, oh, because they weren't valuing internet first. But then the internet became the leader and the streamers became the leaders. So now is the time to recalibrate. And of course they're going to go like the SAG and the Writers Guild are going to go way this way, and then the streamers are going to go way this way, and eventually they're going to work and find something and meet in the middle. And this is a pivotal time. It's a necessary time for this.
Yeah, they got to just get rid of the
so it's to look at everything, and then how can you bring the money down, and how can you bring the money up, and make it so everybody is like working collectively to to make the best projects.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it. They got to get rid of these executives, plain and simple. Like that's just literally just bring the creatives in here that are really those writers. They should be having a job. Like they should be having an executive job, not just in the writers' room. Give that person a job.
The writers get treated so horribly.
They should get a job. They should be the creative exec there because they actually have a relationship with the DPs. They can literally, they can hire their producer that they want on board and go out there and really produce that thing.
And what are you seeing now? So based on like the independently producing, but also, and now you've created a distribution company as well, and now creating several films in like the Midwest, and then distributing to these other streaming platforms.
And what I'm seeing is, like I said, I'm seeing filmmakers, the indie filmmakers getting better and better, and I'm seeing stuff just that is horrible. Like I said, I'm 50-50 on stuff, but like I said, I just go back and forth because some of these people don't have the means, but they do have good stories. Yeah. But they just don't know how to execute them, and then they put it out. And then, for the most part, I'm like, hey, you did it, but it's bad. I wish you would have had, just a better team on board with it. But it's going great for them, for all of us right now. Like, it's really good because we're controlling our own situation. It's like, having like our own mini studio. Yeah. Getting the people and then the platforms like the Tubi, like, Amazon Freevee. It's great. And Roku's as well, that have the AVOD side. And it's just giving filmmakers,
another opportunity. If someone says your shit sucks, most people will take that as like, damn, I suck, and maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Right. Instead of now being able to pivot and then find a distribution company do an AVOD side of things. Yeah. And it's become very lucrative for a lot of people.
And there's people that think that their stuff is really good. Like, there's some people that are just a little bit blind. They really
taste buds.
And I say this, and I thank God that He gave me really good taste buds. I just, I really feel like it's a taste. Like, some people just don't have good taste buds. Yeah. As far as like quality and stuff like that, and just recreating. Because like I say, my number one thing is like, how can you watch? When I ask a filmmaker, what's your favorite film or whatever, and they like Goodfellas, or like a Pulp Fiction or Color Purple, and then I go see something that they produce, and I'm like, you don't see, like, how did you make this? But then you look at the stuff that you just told me, I'm like, wow, those taste buds don't really.
Yeah, it doesn't transfer over because like, and listen, yeah, it's like certain.
I'm serious.
But it's also like, do you have the
that.
okay? And it's like we've all made shit. Like I've made some trash, and I see that stuff pop up in Facebook, and I'm like, ooh, I can't believe I thought that was good at the time.
Right.
But then eventually you develop your taste buds. You got to be around the right people, not just a bunch of yes men.
Yes.
So, but yeah, and that's the thing. And now based on where technology is, where you can make something that looks as great of quality as that inexpensively, but it does take the right team.
Like, here's the thing, and I just try to tell people, get with people that you feel that, you know, is on that level of what you're doing, or just people that are more experienced and better people. Yeah. Listen, I'm an actor first. I was forced to be a producer. My thing is to try to get the best of the best, man. Yeah. Like, just don't feel the ego, get all that stuff out of here. Like, just get, because everybody tries to write, direct it, star in it, and try to, like, do everything. You can't do that. You got to get your DP that's...
Yeah. And it makes your work, transfers your work better.
Exactly.
It represents you in the, I don't know exactly what you mean. Even though I'm not in the film industry, right. I'm in styling and fashion, but it's the same principles when it comes to creatives and who makes the decisions, but also how does your work transfer over? If I have a good concept and the photographer's trash, my work's going to be trash. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have to learn how to delegate.
Delegate and find the right people.
That's it. And just get people that are good in their positions. Not like, oh, my friend is a good, he has
this camera. It's like,
yeah,
cool, well,
okay, cool.
Because that's the first thing that we do. It's like, okay, let's build like the shot, like what the shots are going to look like. And then you go find DPs. If you're shooting something that's at night and it's a horror film, I'm not hiring a cinematographer that's never shot at night and done a horror film.
And please, let me say this too, please.
We'll allow
just because you own a Blackmagic camera, just because you own a Red camera, just because you own an Arri Alexa, doesn't make you a DP.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make you, you know, a cinematographer. You just have a camera. If you don't really know how to work that camera, move it. Like I tell people, like I can go and buy Arri Alexa and go. It doesn't mean that I'm a DP.
Yeah.
And people are like that. And I understand, like, and I go back to the, you know, people that go like, I'm gonna go get that camera and I'm gonna go shoot something. I do get that. But then again, it's just like, you know, you can get a better product if you have someone that knows what they're doing. Do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't get the same DP for every single project.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah. And yeah, so I think, and as we have like, there's this moment in time where I've heard that I think they just decided to go back to the table to see if they can work something out. But say that this strike lasts the rest of the year. If I'm an actor, an aspiring actor, writer, director, producer, what have you, whether you like, you're just starting out all the way to like, maybe you were working a lot. This is an opportunity, yes, to be on the front lines and to get what everybody deserves. I love that. However, when you get home, you have to start building your own projects. You have to start creating, okay, I have a story. Okay, you have the next 6 months that we could be in a strike still, or say 5 months.
That's right.
Put the work in to get the writers around you to create your story, create the lookbook, create a sizzle trailer, create different projects that when the floodgates open, that you can come and bring to the table to control your career. And especially, you have to right now.
And especially with a platform like a Tubi, they're paying out money. They're for good stuff. It is what it is. Like, they're doing it, but you have to get with the right people.
Yeah, because Tubi gets a bad rap from what I've heard and seen
from people.
There was a lot of garbage on there or whatever before, but like anything, they just started acquiring like Westworld from HBO, right?
Bigger
and
stuff,
like bigger things.
There's great content on it, but their thing is they want those subscribers. They want people to come on there because you can watch Lola's strip party on there, and then you can watch Goodfellas.
Right.
As well.
There's always new stuff.
The same night.
Yeah.
And there's always something new and always something fresh. And I think that's what people want. That's the main complaint from Netflix. Right. It's not enough for new and fresh, or it's just trash.
It's the same stuff, but it's like, I would say not like YouTube, but yes, you'll get people that will have all of that content, but something that you'd be like, oh, wow, that independent film looks, interesting from the cover art.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wow, they they watch it and it might be good or it just might be terrible. But that person that watches that came on to watch that one, on what's up next is Forrest Gump is gonna pop up in that. So they're like, oh wow, Forrest Gump. That's the only place where you can watch super indie films and then Hollywood films.
Yeah.
That's the only platform.
Yeah,
which is phenomenal.
They've changed the game, and that's like a big disruptor in the whole game right now too.
Yeah.
So
and they are like just on top right now, just from that. And that's the thing where it's like I said, it could be a gift and a curse for some stuff, you know, because everybody thinks they're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I just say everybody is not filmmakers, just somebody that put together a good story and wanted to shoot something. But everyone is not a filmmaker. When I say that, it's not to put anyone down or whatever. It's just, that's just the real deal.
Yeah.
It's just, some people are just disrespectful to the art.
Mm-hmm.
That's what frustrates me. You know, when you don't have you don't know what a gaffer is. You don't know what a DIT is. You know, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And they don't have that on their set, some of these people. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Your project would be much better if you have an AD, if you have a second AD, you know, your gaffer, all of that. It's going to make your project so much better. But people are like, I don't need that and this. So I call those just people that are just hustlers and want to do the, you know, which I like I said, it is what it is. Everybody has their thing, but I just don't like the whole filmmaker talk and you know, I'm doing, you know, they feel like they're this and they're doing that, and I'm just like, come on, you don't even know the proper, you know, positions for a film.
Yeah. That's why I think even taking this time where you're not busy auditioning and stuff, this is the time where you can start putting those together. You can start educating yourself to just really make yourself a well-rounded filmmaker or an individual to, you know, because I think a big reason there's so many actors and they start off as actors because that's what's most visible when they first come on the scene. Like, okay, I'll be an actor. But then you start seeing the inner workings, like, oh, wait, I could do this. And you were the first person that came to me and you're like, yeah, you got to go in as a producer first when you're going to Sundance and whatnot. I go in as a producer, then actor. Because now you're able to bring things to the table versus going just to ask for something.
Right, and they respect that. And like for writers too, like if you're a writer, which is great, you know, you can write something. You have a big tool. Yeah. You know, as a writer yourself, you have a big tool. And then either get a producer on, you know, and then for an actor, if you're an actor and you're like, man, I keep going out for these auditions, I'm not getting anything, go out there and get a good writer. Just do your research. Yeah. Like, oh, this person did this. This person had a film that went to the festival. They did this. They're a good writer. Yeah. Go out there and get a good writer. But do the research, though. Everybody's not a good writer, man. It's just, people don't know how to format a script. And it's just terrible. When I see the stuff and we do coverage on things, I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. That they don't know how to format. And then, if, like I said, you go get you a good writer, do the research, and then after that, you have to go and get a producer. Because the producer will get you everything else you need. A good director, you know, an editor, you know, a DP. They'll do that. They'll work that. Just not like, oh, I'm just going to use this person. But some people don't like the Hollywood stuff. They don't want to play that kind of game. And it's not a game, though. It's not it's just making good stuff and just having people that can do it. Like,
if you find a great writer, right, and you're passionate and you've done the work that you've done so far, maybe you've just been doing the acting, or maybe you have a story and you have an outline, you create an outline. The internet is there for the taking. It'll tell you what to do and how to go about things to then put something in a package, or at least get all the ideas out that you have to be able to go to somebody and say, you're a great writer and you just did this short film or what have you. And I can come to you and say, hey, listen, how much would it be for you to either write or maybe would you want to collaborate on this? Because there's different people at different levels. It's not just like, I don't have the money to go hire a writer. It's like, all right, well, go find 100 writers, put the word on social media, call, text every single person in your phone.
They don't want to do that.
Find the fucking writers. How do you find it? How did you raise this $50,000 to do this short? I've been in the game. We've been trying to figure out how to do this. You just use all your resources. It's not, I don't know how to find a writer. Okay, we'll spend every single second for the next 4 days in how to find a writer. Then reach out to 1,000 people and see if you can find a writer. It's not, I just called 3 people. They didn't said no.
And that's where you have a lot of those type of people.
It's numbers.
Because they are so used to just, you know.
It didn't just happen. No, but I don't know any writers. Okay. Right. Go to every class, talk to every single actor you know.
And it's a guarantee, just like you said, there's somebody that's in your class that will like your story and want to collaborate with you. Yeah. Because you guys are on the come up.
Yeah.
Who said something about that? Like always Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Go with the people.
Network across, not up.
Across and not up. Because they have their people. They're in there.
Yeah.
Man, you know how many people we reached out to and just reaching out and they already have their click in that.
Get turned down all the time.
Right. And it's just at the end of the day, then I'm just like, listen, this stuff's not even that great.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm playing just the game.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually you start rising up.
Right.
And then you're on the same level as them. And now they're asking you for things.
And you got people too, man. And I got to say this, and I hope, and I'm so, you know, everybody peer-wise, somebody's always scared they're going to take their spot, your spot or whatever, though. If I know you, like, oh, Mark, man, I got this, you know, you're an executive at HBO. You just got in. I'm a creative. I got something hot. I'm pitching it to you. And you're just like, ooh, I don't know. I don't want, ooh, this is hot. If he comes in here, he might take over. And this happens in more of the Black community. And it's terrible because it could only be one. And it's terrible. Oh, somebody's always scared. Oh, this person's going to come in and swipe up and try to take my position and stuff like. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about, you know.
Yeah, once you've done the work and you know how dope you are.
Yeah, just
stop worrying about it.
Stop worrying about that. But in the Black community, everybody's scared because they just don't have good stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I get it, you know, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's like that in the, you know, the Latin community as well. It can only be one person, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in the it's really, really, really sad.
Yeah.
And other people's projects, and they're always worried about, you know, in the Black community as well. They're always, you know, it's always worried about the higher up is trying to keep us down, and it's not.
Yeah.
All the time. No. It's the same person that looks like you that's trying to, you know, not have you because they need to be the only person there.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and they're gonna all get exposed.
Yeah. So this is like an interesting and much necessary recalibration in the business. There's a lot of opportunities for people. And listen, I think even to recap, it's like film and TV entertainment business as a whole is very difficult. If you're weak, get out now.
Get out now.
You got to get in. You got to be in it. And I'm not going to try to make it in a year or 3 years. You got to be in this for the next 2 to 3 decades, and really enjoy
10
the
years
process
in,
of building.
We just started selling stuff.
Just started. So it's like, and listen, and even from like the studios, like we get it. We get why things are the way they are. It makes sense that they are. However, with the internet, with these new opportunities of independently producing things and being able to have bigger voices based on using the internet or selling to these other streaming platforms, it's like shaking things up, and eventually things are going to get reorchestrated and then put into place, and it's going to be a new business. It's going to be a new game. But things are always going to change. You got to be willing to change and figure out different ways of getting in or getting through or building a career. It can't just be, well, I've always just auditioned and then got the job and then built. It's
that's
like,
not happening anymore.
You have to be a business person.
People, if you follow the rules, you will always be behind.
Yeah.
There's no way you can follow the rules and think you're going to get ahead. That's fucking crazy. I just tell people, and I would say that, but like, oh, so you want to get in trouble? You're telling people to get in trouble. You know, watching me telling the kids like Levi, you can't follow the rules, and I'm telling them you better listen to me. But it's something, you know. On that note, don't go out there and smack somebody's face and think you're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you follow the rules, you'll never get ahead. That's just period.
Rules are meant to be broken, and
that's right.
Understand the rules first, and maybe you're playing in that game for a little bit to start, but then you got to start breaking rules and then people start seeing you as an independent thinker, a thought leader. Oh, I love how they did that. I've never seen that before. That's when you start making fans. And as we wrap this up, I want to talk about one final thing. today we went to the gym. We got to the gym around 8 a.m. and we get in there and we're doing bench press.
That's right.
And you said, "Oh, I got to put my feet up on here because if I put my feet down, it hurts your back. It feels like your spine's gonna break because of like the multiple myeloma and everything." But you still find a way to do it. You don't make excuses. So, what is this mentality? How can people learn from this? And because we see people all the time, well, I can't do that because of this. I can't do that. Well, and they just don't understand that the power is within them.
It's within.
And you could have made a nice, easy excuse. Hey, I'm just going to go on the elliptical upstairs. But I was like, I'm about to do bench press. You want to do it? You're like, yeah, let's do it. And instead of doing it like a certain way, you did the way that you could do it to still make it happen.
And simple. Yeah, I just think you kind of just have to have it in you, you know, sometimes, but I think some people could. You can get that. It's just, you know, you get around certain people, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and that would be like, oh, man, this person tried that, so let me try that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have people that's like, you know, when you know, like paralyzed or whatever, and you still see them in the gym doing something. I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Like, this one guy, like, it's funny, though, because this one guy would be in the gym, listen to me, a button up, slacks and shoes. Still in there working out. I don't know his story.
Yeah. But he's it's just like find a way. Oh, you can't have.
Of course he does. It's a weird thing, but I'm like, there's no excuse. This dude's like 55 years old. He has a button up on with khakis and like church shoes, and he's in there working out. And I'm just like, and you know, you got some people like laughing and making fun. But at the end of the day, when you wipe all that, making fun of him and doing that, let's get that out of the way. You'd be like, yo, that dude, he
still got it in.
He got it in.
You don't like to fly. You've only flown a few times.
No,
so you drive. You find a way. How do I find a way? Yeah. And I think there's so much to learn from that. No matter what it is or whatever difficulties you're going through, how do I find a way?
Find a way.
And listen, it doesn't mean, like how you said, like sometimes, you know, even when you started going back to the gym, you go just to the sauna for a minute.
Oh, yeah, because I got to get I got to get my mindset right. I got to get in there. Yeah, it's like I know if my body's not feeling the best to go upstairs. I'm going in there. I'm going in that steam room. I'm going in that sauna. I'm going in the jacuzzi. It makes me feel good. And just like what you just said, as far as like, you know, not flying, I'm going to drive. And I'm just not going to make an excuse. I'm not going to get here and say, oh, man, I'm tired, man. I just drove all the way here. You know, if you're like, hey, there's this event going on with this thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
Listen, I drove all the way. I could be tired. No, I'm not going to make that excuse. Some people make that.
Yeah.
I chose to do that. So you got to live with that and move forward.
Yeah.
People play too much.
Because it'd be so much easier. Yeah, you could just be zooming all the time, not come to LA.
Oh,
you have a premiere this Monday.
Yeah,
and you could just not come.
Of course.
It's easy not to come.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I thought about it like, oh, you know, because we're going to bring the fam out. We were going to come out and stuff like that. But then the team was like, oh, man, we want you to come. And I'm just like, you know what? Listen. You don't know what tomorrow brings. Let's go.
I'm going to get it while I'm here.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, love when you're out here, man. And
same. Thank you for always having me, making me feel good. And yeah, brother.
Absolutely. All right. This episode was brought to you by XYKO. That's XYKO.go and then XYKO.go on Instagram and all the social media platforms. TRP15 is for 15% off. And then Inc. Detroit, same deal with them. TRP15 for 15% off their entire site as well. Check them out, inkdetroit.com and Inc. Detroit on all social media platforms. Where can everybody find you, sir?
So I am on Instagram, Paris_the_movie, or you can go to Paris Films on IG as well.
Absolutely, man. So excited for everything you have going on.
Thank you.
Big things to come.
Yes, sir.
And you can find me at Mark Rodriguez TV, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.